Right.
Were you kind of surprised at that?
You know what I was surprised with was how seriously he took it, and he did. He took it, and it was really great. I mean, it was really impressive to see how he took that so seriously, in every line. Because to me, there's 3 words, and I couldn't say them much differently. But he really wanted to put intent and put a lot of thought and a lot of intention to every time he delivered that line. He was very.
You talked to him about it,
yeah. Yeah, and he's done interviews about it. I've heard him speak about it, and I've seen him do it. I've seen him doing the voiceovers. It was really a great thing that he and James shared just between the 2 of them. They actually have a script where all of his lines, and he says, "I am Groot," but all of his intentions were actually written out. All of the thoughts were completely written out.
Yeah, anyway, this time around, I think your character is the comic part of the film. A lot of it. I don't know. That's how I took it this time around.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Is that something that you are kind of into, like down the line?
I
like the timing for it, I have to say.
It's weird. It's something I've kind of developed from the first Guardians. It wasn't something I ever set out to do. I never set out to be a comedic actor. But it was. I think it had a lot to do with me getting the role. I think a lot of the lines for the first my first audition were comedic moments. But I kind of give all the credit to James and his writing. It's really the brilliance of his writing and his dark, twisted sense of humor that makes for Drax to be funny.
It really is. It's a great. I like that kind of humor.
Yeah.
And also the music in this. I don't know if you're a fan of all this '80s,
Of course, yeah.
'80s and all that. Did it get stuck in your head? Because I realized they played that on set, or you're listening to that.
Which is always, really beneficial because it really just sets a tone of emotion for a scene.
Yeah.
And James is really good about that and really matching up music with scenes and the emotional tone that they should have. And so really it's really an invaluable tool for us to have. And a lot of times we would wear earwigs so we could hear the music and see how the emotional tone of the scene was going to play out. But and the chain, Fleetwood Mac has been.
That's in my head.
I love Fleetwood Mac. I've always loved Fleetwood Mac. I remember my mom playing Fleetwood Mac when I was a child. And so for some reason that song just sticks with me and really resonates with me. And I listen to it on a weekly basis at home in my car. Yeah.
Now that you've done a lot of stuff, a lot of films, and this is obviously a high-profile film. It probably opens more doors. Do you have a kind of like a sense of where you want to go in the film world?
It's weird. I have a kind of a sense, and it's it's weird. I love doing these big films, but I always it's weird, and I hope this doesn't sound like I'm taking anything for granted, but I love being able to do the big films so I can have the luxury of doing the small films.
Yeah,
I don't know if that makes sense. Yeah, and it's for me because I'm an on-the-job learning actor. I didn't have the luxury of going to drama school or anything like that. So I learned by performing, and I find that on the smaller films, I'm able to have more creative input, and I'm also just able to explore more, and I like having that freedom. And at the end of the day, I want to become a better actor, and I just feel like I have a lot more freedom on smaller films.